Welcome to the Regimental Galleries, which displays the collection of the Royal Leicestershire Regiment. Formed on the 27th of September 1688 by order of King James II. The regiment won its first battle honour during deployment to France in 1695. Throughout the 18th century, the regiment was involved in action in Europe and the Americas, being present at the capture of Montreal, which saw the sovereignty of Canada transferred from the French to the English. Their next major campaign was the American War of Independence, with the regiment landing at Boston on New Year's Day, 1776. In 1802, the regiment was sent to India, where they stayed for almost 20 years, playing an important role in the formation of the British Indian Empire. Their time in India saw the regiment gain the name the Tigers, a nickname given to many army units who were stationed in India. The collections you see here were put on display in 2006, before which they could be seen at the Magazine, a nearby medieval gateway, later used as an ammunition storage facility. The large cannons you might have seen outside this museum are part of the regimental collections, and they follow the displays you see here wherever they go. Some of the objects you can see on display are controversial now, but were considered to be acceptable at their time of creation. One of those objects is the tiger's head snuff box, which was a real tiger's head that was converted into an ornate snuff box. Snuff was a type of tobacco product usually used by upper-class people, including the officers of the armed forces. The tiger's head snuff box dates to 1858. Across the back wall of the gallery, you'll see several ceremonial objects, such as drums, trophies, and another tiger skin, worn by members of the regiment during parades. Another interesting object you can see is a postcard, signed by Florence Nightingale, who famously founded the practices of modern nursing. During the Crimean War, Florence Nightingale spent a lot of time on the front lines, where she developed the modern nursing techniques still in use today. The Crimean War lasted from 1853 to 1856. Members of the Royal Leicestershire Regiment won a wide variety of medals throughout their history for many acts of bravery, including 4 Victoria Crosses, the highest, most prestigious award in the British honours system. In the gallery you can see many of the medals awarded to the regiment on display. In the other galleries you can find out more about the individual soldiers who fought as part of the regiment, including those who were awarded a Victoria Cross. These galleries also look at some of the most important wars the regiment were involved in: the First World War and the Second World War. During the First World War, the regiment increased in size to 19 battalions and were involved in many major campaigns, including the Battle of the Somme and the Battle of Ypres. During the Second World War, the regiment fought across every major theatre of war, including France, Italy, and North Africa. In November 1946, in recognition of their service, King George VI paid the regiment the great honour of making it a Royal Regiment. After India gained independence from Britain in 1947, the British Army stationed there left. This included the Royal Leicestershire Regiment, who'd had a presence in India for over 100 years. After Indian independence, the regiment were involved in the Korean War in the 1950s. After a long and successful history, the regiment was amalgamated into the Royal Anglian Regiment. On the 1st of September 1964, over 300 years since it was first formed. As you explore the museum, make sure to visit the recreation of the First World War trench, showing the living conditions of soldiers stationed at the front.